All right. Good morning from the Finnish frontier.
Good morning.
Hello. We are not so many here, but there's lots of quality present anyway. Hello, Siegfried, Jens, Ramon, and Clement.
Today.
Yeah. So I guess as we are not so many, and we pretty much know each other from before, so we can discuss quite freely here for some time. And then so feel free to just jump in and comment whenever you like. I prepared a short presentation just to explain myself what's the point with this roundtable, and then we can have a discussion of it. And as said, so feel free to ask any questions or place any comments while I'm doing this introduction also. So let's keep this pretty informal. So the topic of the roundtable is to discuss a potential research opportunity concerning a new engineering field of education, actually, in a Finnish university. I will soon tell you some details, and or in general have a discussion that which are from your point of view such viewpoints and topics and maybe research questions that could be interesting in this type of a phase. So that's me. We know each other already, most of us, and but well, maybe you know me mainly from the Turku University of Applied Sciences perspective. But since last autumn, I've been working as a fixed-term contract in a Finnish university called University of Jyväskylä. Not so well known in the CDIO context, at least not yet, but rather the high standard university in Finland in general. And then I'm working as a project manager of their new engineering program introduction that deals with information and software engineering. And then the first student admission has actually happened already. So we're in the process of selecting the first student to this new program, and they will start their studies in late August this autumn. A few words about the university. So it dates back from mid 1900s, and it started actually as a teacher seminar in central part of Finland, and thereafter has expanded to the full multidisciplinary university. There you see some basic figures, and it has very strong focus on humanities and social sciences, and also mathematics and physics, for example. And also it has a rather old IT faculty, yet the engineering domain has not been a part of the activities until now. So in the context of computer science or information technology, the University of Jyväskylä is the second largest educator in Finland among the academic universities. Only the Aalto University in Helsinki is bigger in terms of degrees awarded, masters and PhDs anyway. And then, but last summer, the university was granted the rights to start also engineering education in the field of IT, and that's what we've been working with now. We're planning the curriculum and then everything that's needed to start a new program. But anyhow, the IT context and IT education and research as such is very well known and traditional, but there is no engineering tradition in the university. Just to give you some background of the situation. Yet, as there is no engineering or technical university in the region, the IT faculty has already rather good connections to the surrounding industry, for example, and there are lots of different activities in place. So also in that context, there is a tradition to utilize. Yes, here you see the degree programs of the faculty. So what I'm mainly working with is the combined bachelor and master program in information and software engineering that, as said, starts this autumn. And in the Finnish system, when you get admitted to the academic universities on the bachelor, like kind of entry point, you get automatically right to continue until masters if you want within the same degree program. But we are following the Bologna system so that it's also possible to switch the program after the bachelor's phase. So also in this case, the students can, when they have graduated from the bachelor's, they can apply and then perhaps be selected to some other master programs, kind of leave the home base, and then also it's possible to apply and enter our master's program in information and software engineering and study the 2 years master's here, even though you have done your bachelor's in some other university. But that's the new addition. If you look at the bachelor master program pipes, which starts from the bachelor level, so from before there is a traditional and the largest program is a program in information systems that leads to a master's degree in economics, and then there is some mathematical information technology program. You could call it computer science in the international domain, which is, at least from my point of view, it's quite a traditional computer science academic program, and then a rather new program also, which is one of the strength or focus areas of the universities, is an IT focused program in educational technology, which is implemented quite closely with the Faculty of Education here. Yet it leads to an IT computer science program. And now we are adding the engineering domain here. Yep, and then again, some background, which is, I guess, pretty familiar to you. It's pretty global at the moment, I guess. So one of the reasons why we got granted this new field was that there's a global and national local need of new IT professionals, and then also we think that there's a growing need of a bit different IT professionals, university educated IT professionals, and that's what we've been working with a lot, is to kind of think and plan that as we are adding a new IT program in Finland, how we could and should, of course, kind of answer the global and national need of new professionals, but then also add something new, something that's not provided currently, especially in the context of Finnish universities. And then trying to be short, the answer that we have come to is that if as the humanities and social sciences and also education in different contexts is one of the key focus areas of the university. So the new program has been designed so that there will be a major focus in humanities or and then social sciences. So then the new IT engineers will get a deep dive in this context already during the bachelor studies, but then that continues in the master's phase. And then we think that we are able to create such IT engineers that are a bit different from the other IT engineering graduates in Finland, and then we aim at competencies that create abilities to look at IT-related problems or seek solutions from different contexts, so that the students get trained in working with quite different background professionals already during their studies, and also so that they get a kind of user-centric view and practice those skills throughout the studies. Yeah, that's pretty much as I said already. And then a quick overview to the curriculum. You can dig a bit deeper in our study guides if you want. Yet the program, at least in the first phase, it will be taught in Finnish. So the most detailed documents are there already, but that's mainly in Finnish only at the moment. But there is a general website also in English if you want. You see the link there. It starts raining here. Yeah, so if you see some background noise, so it's a local thunder shower that's about to start here. I'm actually sitting in a boat currently, so the noise of the rain can be heard quite clearly at least. Yeah. All right. Yes. The curriculum structure is rather traditional, one could say, if you look at it from outside. So there are a set of common studies, and then that contain quite standard parts. But what's maybe new here is that from the very beginning of the bachelor studies, the students will for example enter a course that's like freely translated called Being Human in the Information Society, that's produced by the Faculty of Humanities, and that will in short contain several different topics that connect the IT and network world to the different social science aspects. And then you could in a way call that the Introduction to Engineering course in this selected focus area of ours. And then that starts the very first teaching period the student starts, so they get exposed to that type of topics. So in many ways it answers to in the CDIO context, it answers to the questions that are placed in the Introduction to Engineering standard. Yet the content angle is quite different. And then of course we have the major, that's information and software engineering. If you look at the whole master's program path, so about 50% of the studies are that. And then of course the university and the faculty has its spearheads in the software engineering domain, cybersecurity being one of them. But still, I would call those studies rather typical. So if you take any academic program in computer science or software engineering from Aarhus, for example, so I'm quite sure that you will find most of those topics there. But then, as the aim is to connect IT and humanities, so both the bachelor and master courses contain 30 ECTS credit minors, meaning that during their studies to the master's phase, the students will study 60 credits, meaning one full year if you would do it in one batch, which they won't. But 25% of the studies is a minor topic, and then which they are not allowed to select from the IT faculty. And that's, for example, one of the differences if you compare this program with the existing old computer science master's program, is that those students, if they want, they can focus everything they do in the IT domain, but these engineering students can't. They must go out to the other faculties and fetch the minor from there. And then, of course, there will be bachelor's and master's theses. And then there we are aiming also at topics that kind of conceived from the interfaces between IT and the selected minor, whatever that is. And then very closely following actually the capstone project type of vision. In the beginning of the master's phase of the studies, the students will have a mandatory project course that has not been implemented yet. It's just on paper still. But that's also something new in this university, is that there will be a capstone type of project that will be run in a multidisciplinary manner, meaning that there will be students from the IT engineering program and then students from other programs, depending on the topic of the project. And that's kind of the final glue between the minor, the humanities, and the IT before the master's thesis phase. And then I'm almost done with my slides, but here you have some examples of the minors. We have created a kind of a tray for the students of those minors that we think that could be of interest and are such that they would also make this vision of connecting humanities and IT live. But then from these, the students can very freely choose what they want to dig deeper on. And without going in all the details, so for example, the university is the only university in Finland that has a separate faculty in sport and health sciences. For example, all the sport teachers in Finland are educated in the University of Jyväskylä, and then they have several different research interests, for example, in that domain, and then without knowing it yet. So we expect that we have been able to attract some students to this new engineering program that are or have selected us because of the fact that they are interested in combining sports sciences and IT. Yep, and then going towards the topic of the roundtable after the introduction is that as the situation is as I explained. We think, and I think, that there are several different opportunities also in context of engineering education research to study different things and maybe learn something new, as it's possible to really get our hands on the very first cohort of the engineering students in a major university. And the idea of this roundtable is to first of course to present to you what I've been working with, and then have a chat that if you have any ideas or comments, what could be interesting, which could be interesting research questions or things that we should maybe focus on, or maybe if you are interested in even collaborating in some research projects or joint ventures in this context, so that we are very open to that type of initiatives also. So that's the short introduction. I had actually prepared a Flinga tool that we could have used for brainstorming, but as we are not so many and we know each other, so maybe we can just discuss, and of course if you are interested in more details of this program of ours, so I'm happy to explain our plans in more details to you. What do you think?